Hello, my fellow concerned friends, and welcome back to my channel, unless you're new here, in which case, welcome to my channel. I have some things I really need to get off my chest, guys. If you don't know this, I am in fact a mother. If you don't know this, I am in fact no contact with my own mother. And guys, I have been weepy for like the past week, just wanting to bawl my eyes out because I just miss the concept of a mother so much, and I'm so jealous of adults who have a healthy relationship with their parents, and my heart has just been breaking so much, and I needed a healthy way to deal with this grief. And I tried to do this voiceover yesterday, just giving you guys the thoughts off the top of my head, and it just wasn't going good. So I decided to take some time, and I actually wrote something for you guys. I don't know if you could call it like a poem. I don't know what you could call this, but I wrote something for you guys. Something from my heart. Okay, it's very personal to me, all right? And I'm going to read it for you guys because I just really need to get these feelings out there. And I know for absolute certainty that somebody is going to be able to resonate with what I read to you guys today. So without further ado, here is my little monologue on being a motherless mother of a mom not gone. Being a motherless mother feels like holding the earth in my arms while trying to remember what sunlight looks like. I spend my days pouring love into these tiny hearts, even though no one ever poured love into mine. I am traversing motherhood without a guide, paving softness into a world that was harsh to me. My mother is gone, but not dead. No contact. Not because I wanted distance, but because I deserved peace. Healing while parenting feels like rebuilding a broken house while people live inside it. Reminders of the old everywhere, rooms unfinished, but somehow there are moments of magic. Tiny handprints on the walls marking the moments of pure freedom, laughter echoing through the mess. And I see for myself, I am not failing. I am rebuilding. I am growing the roots no one started for me. People hear no contact, and they imagine anger. But this isn't anger. It's a quiet, dense grief. A decision made in the carom between what could have been and what I know will never be. I didn't cut her out. I had to protect the child inside me who never got safety. Protect the children I'm raising, who deserve better than the pain passed down like an ill-fated heirloom. I killed her in my mind not because I carry hate, but because stopping the cycle is the deepest form of love there is. Mothering without a mother is a storm. There is no one to call when the kids are sick, no one to ask for advice when I'm unsure, no one to assure me that I'm doing a good job. No handbook, no example. Just trial and error, band-aids and stickers. Learning unconditional love in real time. Some days it feels like I'm trying to teach a language I never learned, but I'm raising them with a softness I had to invent. There are nights where the emptiness is heavy, when the kids are feral and the house ramshackle, and I think to myself, I wish I could have a mom. Because mothering is more than diapers and snacks and Bluey all day long. It's building emotional infrastructure, being the soft place for them to land when you've only had concrete. Generational trauma cycles don't break discreetly. They break like bones. Painful. Splintering. Sometimes feeling like it is crawling out of your skin. I was raised to survive. They are being raised to love. I was told to shrink, to be quiet, to have blind trust. They are learning to take up space, speak their mind, and question. I grew up afraid of my emotions. They're learning it is safe to feel. I will not repeat her story because I am writing my own. This is a grief people don't talk about. Not the grief of losing someone, but the grief of choosing to stop loving someone you were biologically designed to love. I grieve the mother I needed, not the mother I had. I grieve the childhood I deserved, not the one I survived. It's a quiet grief, the kind that sneaks up when I see a mother caring for her own daughter postpartum. The tender, loving look between an adult child and their parent, something I will never experience. But and experience I can give my own children. I am no faultless mother. No one really is, but the love I give is real. It was learned, not inherited, and that makes it sacred. Their giggles at bedtime when they should be sleeping, the chaos of toys everywhere I step, the tiny arms around my neck unknowingly cutting off my airflow. Those are proof that love can grow in places it never existed. People say I'm strong, but I don't feel strong. I feel tired. I feel vulnerable. I feel like I am flying a plane with no experience, and damn it, it has to land. Strength isn't being okay. Strength is continuing even when you're not. It's healing while you raise humans who will never have to heal from you. I will never have the mother I needed, but my children do. And that is how I reprogram our cycle. And one day, my children will sit in the shade of the tree I planted with the seeds I foraged myself. Wow, guys. Thank you for letting me get that off of my chest. I very much so needed to. Like I said, I have been weepy, sobby, just crying and crying and crying. Like I have so many emotions that all lead back to my mother wound that I just needed to be able to express in a healthy way. Now, I'm not gonna lie, I was not I was not expecting to have this much leftover time after I read that script. I definitely underestimated how long it was. So for future reference, if I'm trying to write a longer script for something, I should not gauge that off of how much my hand is hurting, I guess. But yeah, this is just, it's really hard. Mothering without a mother, even though my mother is still here. I just had to choose to walk away from my own mother. So hard. Because there's so many more things that come with the difficulties of not having contact with your parents, whether your parents have passed away or you've had to make the hard decision of going no contact. Like, people don't think about this, but like even something as simple as like health history. Like when I go to the doctor's office, and they asked me anything about my like family history, I got nothing. I can't tell them anything. And that negatively affects me because now they're not getting the proper history that they need that I could be able to give them if my parents were not total pieces of shit. And then it's like I really struggle sometimes with how do I explain to my own children why they only have one set of grandparents? And I have a deep fear that for sake of rebellion, one day one of my kids will try to make contact with my own abusers just for the sake of rebellion. And that terrifies me. Not because I would be mad at my child or hold that against them or something, but it terrifies me because I don't know what my abusers would do with my own children. And so it's like, as messed up and bad as it sounds, it's like part of me, I feel like my life would be so much easier if she was just gone. Then I would have some sort of sense of closure. If I wanted to, I could go visit her grave and I guess talk to her however I wanted, whenever I wanted, really lay into her the way that I've wanted to since I was a child, ask her any questions, and also then I don't have that fear of her harming my own children. Oh my gosh, I just looked back down at my iPad, begging you guys to ignore the cereal that is on the bench at the table. I did not realize right before I filmed this. I guess my children got into the cereal. Life happens. It's cereal. You know what I mean? It wasn't there. Like, I don't know who cleaned up that cereal now that I'm looking at it. I don't remember cleaning up that cereal. Don't know what happened to that cereal. Can I just say this for a second? Can I just talk to all of you who are adults and have relationships with your parents? Please hug them for me. I literally would pay so much money. I would do anything if I could wake up tomorrow in a timeline where even just for one day, I got to experience what it's like to be a child who is loved by their parent. I know that I'm giving it to my children, and I feel so privileged to be able to do for them what was never done for me. But my God, if they could create a way where you could just for one day experience what it is like to be a loved child. and I could genuinely hold those feelings with me, I think it would change me. So if you have a good relationship with your parents, please hug them for me. Even if you're mad at them right now, will you give them a hug for me? And you know, something else that makes it so hard to deal with like these emotions and stuff toward my mother and me being motherless, going no contact, is that my mom is as bad of a mom she was not like the worst mother in the whole world. We had a lot of good moments, but like at the core, she was a selfish mother who always put men above her children. And that is ultimately where she failed. But when I think about my mom, I just feel so sad for her. My heart is so heavy for her because she had such a terrible childhood, and she chose to not break those cycles. She chose to just continue them and stay the status quo. And I know personally, based off of one of the last conversations I ever had with her, that she has a deep, deep longing to break out of it. She has a deep, deep, deep longing to run away from it all. She told me she wants to move to the West, out by Colorado, and just live in nature the last time I really talked to her. And my God, it breaks my heart for her. And it shouldn't, because like, damn it, I'm your daughter. You should be heartbroken for me and what you took away from me and how hard I had to fight to run away. But like deep down, when I think about my mother, I just think about what sad, 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 lost little girl. And then I have these conflicting emotions because I was also a sad, 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 lost little girl. But I chose different. She did not choose differently. She chose to stay no matter how bad she says she doesn't want to. And that is not my burden to carry. That is not my burden to worry about. It is so insane how incredibly complex going no contact with your abusive family is, because I feel like quote unquote normies, normal people are like, okay, yeah, if somebody was abusing me, I think it would be pretty easy to say sayonara, peace out, never talking to you again. But it's like, I remind myself, people don't understand trauma bonds. People don't understand what it is like to grow up in an abusive system, and to not realize that that's not normal until much later, after you have already developed those emotions and those feelings. I literally can't make this up, guys. I know that this entire video, verbally speaking, has been all over the place since I finished reading to you guys what I wrote. But this is motherhood, you know? This is real. This is raw. I am having to keep stopping recording me talking so that I can go deal with the children. And I mean, what better of a video to like let them keep interrupting me on? Wow. The fact that they feel safe enough with me to interrupt me while I am working because they know that I am not going to retaliate against them. Like, it's little things like this that's like, wow, they will never know the kind of love my mother showed me. And that is so, so incredibly important. I'll let you guys in on another little secret here. Currently, right now in my house, there are little baby grape tomatoes spilled out all over my kitchen floor because my kids decided to try to eat some grape tomatoes while I was recording this for you guys. And you know what? If I was my mother, that would have been the end. I would have thrown my hands up in the air and said, I'm not even working. I'm not even going to record this video anymore. Everyone get in this kitchen. And I probably would have made them get on their hands and knees and start eating every single tomato off of the floor with their mouth. No. What I just did is I saw it and I was like, why? 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 And they explained we were hungry and they looked really pretty. And you know what? Yeah. I got the rainbow tomatoes. They are really pretty. Orange, yellow, and red. They're very pretty. But they just wanted to eat them, and they made a mess while just trying to eat them. So you know what they're doing right now? They're cleaning up the tomato mess while I finish recording this. And guess what? No yelling, no crying. And my kids don't feel like they are fundamentally flawed because they made a mistake of spilling tomatoes all over the floor. They won't be going to their rooms and sitting in their room for the rest of the day as they watch me take out every single stuffed animal and every single thing in their room that gives it personality. And I won't force them to sit in the doorway of their room so I can monitor them. I won't make them ask permission to use the bathroom. I won't make them ask permission to get a drink, all because they made a mistake and made a mess and interrupted me while I was working. When they fight with each other, I don't force them to embrace each other while I record them and tell them that I'm going to post them to the world so that everybody can see what spoiled, ungrateful, insufferable brats they are. I would never do that. I would never put their face in the corner and tell them the only part of their body that can touch the wall is the tip of your nose. And if it squishes or comes off, that's more time or a harsher punishment. I would never put Dawn dish soap in my kid's mouth for simply giving me an attitude or speaking to me with a tone that I personally do not like, because I'm an adult and I can navigate my own emotions around how they're delivering whatever it is they're saying. I would never do that. I would never force them to hold milk jugs or books straight out on their sides for who even knows how long just because they made me mad. I would never, ever blindfold them and hand them a yellow pages and tell them to open it up to a random spot in the book and then remove their blindfold and make them call that random number and tell the people on the other end of the line that I'm such a bad kid, my own family doesn't want me anymore, can I move in with you instead? I wouldn't make them pack up every single one of their belongings into trash bags and kick them out of the house, watching them walk down the driveway, telling them that they're not welcome in their own home anymore, just to yell at them to turn around and come back home, and then yell at them some more because now their room is disheveled and tell them to clean it up. I couldn't do that. But my mom did all of those things because in our household, being a child was worthy of punishment. Severe punishment. But that's not the household that I want anymore. I want a household where it is safe to make mistakes, where it is safe to fall apart because you know you'll be put back together. Being a mom is already hard enough and scary enough, but man, navigating it with luggage and luggage and luggage full of trauma and full of skeletons that might pop out at any time makes it so much more difficult, because jealous, abusive people never truly leave you alone forever. I mean, I've already had to get a restraining order against my biological family this past year. But here is the thing. I have power. I have control over my own life. They do not. They have the power to try to scare me, but I can choose to not live in fear of them my whole life, but instead choose to live for freedom for my own children and myself. And so that's what I am doing. But I'm not going to lie to you guys and tell you guys that it's easy and that I feel so strong and powerful all the time because look, I did all of the things my own mother couldn't or wouldn't. Like, I'm actually not going to lie to you guys. This shit sucks. It sucks. I'm not going to lie. I am not going to lie. Going no contact and living with the aftermath of child abuse is not fun. It's not exciting. I don't feel powerful. I don't feel like I overcame the things that I overcame. I feel like they are suffocating me and trying to drag me back into the pits of hell with it, the further away from it I get. Okay, I'm just gonna be honest with you guys. Always trying to be honest, okay? And if I'm being honest, I have really been struggling with my mother wound. So thank you guys for letting me get this off of my chest. And I am sure, unfortunately, a lot of you guys are probably going to relate to this, even if you are not a parent yet, okay? Even if you're not a parent, unfortunately, probably a lot of you guys are going to be able to relate to this. So I really have nothing else to ramble about. We got a couple minutes left here, so you guys can finish off watching me do my mascara and my lips. And in the meantime, I'll give you a little update on this weekend's video for Unter Alterbach. Yeah, that's going to be a long one, and I'm probably going to be very angry in that video, especially towards parents, okay? Because there's a lot of kids playing this game, and I am not hating on the children playing this game, okay? Don't like it, do not approve of it, and if they were my children, they would not be playing it. However, how did you get access to that game, kid? How did you get access to the game? So that's where I'm at, guys. Yeah. Also, another thing, now that I've got you, all of the people who really the troopers who have stuck through all the way to the end, what do you guys think about me doing a video on James Charles? I've been wanting to do a video on James Charles for a long, long time, but it seems like anybody who says anything negative about him, he like comes after. And I feel like I would kind of fly under the radar, right? Like there's no way he would know about me, right? So I'm scared of retaliation. Like I'm scared of legal retaliation if I talk about him, especially in this situation, because he's got a lot of money. I do not. I have enough money to pay for our bills and pay to take my kids to the museum or like other children's places sometimes, okay? Yeah, but I want to know what you guys think about that, because I have seen a couple of his victims on my For You page sharing their stories, and unfortunately their stories are literally getting taken down for harassment and bullying when they are simply sharing what happened to them, how they were victimized by this man who still has a huge platform, and they are being silenced for bullying and harassment. And that hits far too close to home for me, because if you guys remember when I very first started like really sharing my story on TikTok and stuff as boldly as I did, and my biological family came out of the woodworks to harass me, that's what they did. They tried to take every single one of my TikToks down for bullying and harassment, which is absolutely insane. But yeah, let me know what you guys think about that topic. Obviously, that would be like not this Saturday, but next Saturday's video, because this Saturday is under Alterbach, unfortunately. So yeah, anyway, I hope you guys, oh gosh, this part was so, look at how silly I am. My gosh, I wipe it clean. Okay. I wiped it clean, and then I'm like, oh, push it back down. Now I got to wipe it clean again. Silly Danielle, use your brain. Thank you. I hope you guys liked this video today. I know that these Wednesday videos I feel like are kind of turning into like just chatting, connecting. We're just FaceTiming, but not really, because you can't really see me talking. But yeah, here's a finished look. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys on the next one.